So next, we're going to look at another way to protect your accounts. So the next slide, please. It's going to go over some do's and don'ts. And when I say accounts, I mean your bank accounts, your online banking credentials, even your Facebook profile and your debit card information. But now that we know how to deal with present scams in our face, let's look at preemptive measures such as, not giving out account information to non-reputable sources. We already said don't give out account information, debit card information, or personal information to unsolicited callers, emails, or texts. But what about when you're shopping? When you go to Amazon and make a purchase, you put in your information to complete the purchase. To make online purchases, you have to enter your information. There's no way around it. And it is important to realize that there is an inherent risk anytime you shop anywhere, be it online or in person. The best merchants can be compromised. It does happen. However, there are response protocols in place when it does happen to protect the consumer, but understand that there's no guarantee that vendors will be 100% all the time. Something you do have control over, though, is who you shop from. The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency recommends only purchasing from web pages with HTTPS in their URL. The S is the important part, and that means that the site is secure and less likely to be compromised. You can also refer to the Better Business Bureau for ratings on companies before you purchase from them to get an idea of other people's experiences and their reviews of the company. So, we don't want to answer the phone if you don't recognize the number, if it's unsolicited. It's likely a robocall. If you do answer and hear recorded sales pitch, you can hang up immediately and you can report it to the Federal Trade Commission, again, the FTC. There are legal calls. You don't want to press 1 to speak with someone to request being taken off a list. This could just lead to more calls because they're not legitimate anyway. Instead, just hang up on them directly. Nothing good can come from them. This next one is don't trust your caller ID. Scammers, again, we had discussed it, can perform a tactic called spoofing, where they make the telephone numbers to look like they are calling from legitimate businesses, even your bank. And don't call phone numbers supplied in emails or respond to those emails if they're unsolicited because, again, they can use spoofing to make it look like a different email address. So those numbers in the emails can be tied to impersonators who are ready to phish your information and perpetrate fraud against you. Instead, do call the source directly at the number listed on their website. Research the actual number, again, through their Contact Us page, and never call unverified numbers included within emails or text messages. Going back to emails, don't click on links in unfamiliar emails, those that you're not anticipating, and don't allow anyone remote access to your computer. This can result in unintentionally downloading viruses or the beginning of a phishing attempt. Side note, you can also double check the senders of a spoofed email by hitting reply to the email. If the sender email does not match the same email when you hit reply, you can almost guarantee that it's fraud. So instead, just don't respond, just delete them and make sure that you didn't download anything. If you receive a call and someone is requesting you to download an app so that they can remote access to your computer, it's more than likely fraud. Instead, hang up on them immediately. If you suspect a compromise of your computer, unplug it. Some malware will actually prevent your power button from working, but unplugging the device disconnects it from electricity, so it works every time. You can also install antivirus software like Norton or McAfee. You can set them up to run daily scans. Every time you turn on your computer, you can also run manual scans if you have concerns about a compromise. And they do a good job of preventing viruses from downloading your computer. It's beneficial to look into some of these products before your computer is compromised because it can lead to a big headache. Next, don't give unsolicited callers any personal or bank account information. Call your bank right away if you accidentally gave out information. The sooner we know, the more effective we can be in protecting you. Don't buy gift cards or other forms of untraceable payments to satisfy supposed debts like those warrants. Government entities and honest companies won't require you to use those payments. Cash is king. So those are the routes they typically go. Don't wire money to anyone or don't wire money to anyone that you don't know. Like gift cards, they are untraceable and unlikely to be recovered because they're usually immediately sent out of that account or withdrawn. 2, be truthful to the bank about the reasons for your account withdrawals. Our staff is trained on current scams and can help if they truly know what you are doing for the purpose of the wire of that withdrawal. So sometimes they may ask. Don't use the same password for every online account. Use unique, difficult passwords for all online platforms. This limits the chance of large compromises amongst all your platforms. Strong passwords are essential for account security. You can follow the recommendations from the source page, or you can come up with a more complicated password. It's also a good practice that you don't share passwords amongst numerous platforms. So your email password shouldn't be the same as your online banking password, because if they breach your email, now know your password, they may turn to your online banking next. I know how burning it can be. I have like 30 unique passwords alone, but it is important to protect your platforms. And you don't have to have a different, don't share your password over more than 2 platforms. If you have the same password for your email and maybe your Facebook, that's okay, but try and limit them. It's best to have a different one for every single platform. And don't ignore your feelings or instincts. If you feel something is off, question it. Don't assume everything is okay, and hang up if you're uncomfortable. I can't tell you how many times I've heard, something felt off, but the call was so confident I just did what they said, even though I knew something was wrong. It happens all the time. Instead, question it. Don't assume everything is okay just because you're uncomfortable. We have strong instincts and often ignore them. So be skeptical. Some additional tips include, be careful where and how you access your device. By this, I mean, don't use public computers to log on to your online banking or online accounts. Avoid using public Wi-Fi when accessing your online accounts, like your email, your Facebook. And try avoiding ATMs in touristy areas. Skimming devices are more likely to be located on ATMs where foot traffic is higher. And experienced hackers can gain access to your devices if you use public Wi-Fi for logging into your online banking or skimming devices. You can also protect your identity by shredding old bank statements, any mail like credit card pre-approvals, or any mail with previous personal identifiable information like your name, date of birth, social security number, bank accounts. If you don't own a shredder, Staples will accept your documents to shred. I think there's a small fee associated, but it's worth it. And our final tip is to be aware of current fraud trends, relating to phishing and social engineering scams. Police pages on Facebook do a good job of notifying the public. Meredith Village releases fraud alerts on our webpage and Facebook page whenever we become aware of a fraud trend within the area. And keep up to date on those fraud trends so you can recognize the signs of the scams if you're ever contacted for one of these.